So good, it was so good.
Their romance is literally sizzling off of my Kindle. I fear that we have a problem. You was doing so well and you just ruined it. It's getting a little bit hot and heavy. It's time we got out of this reading slump. Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel, or hey if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It is time for a reading vlog. I am going to be getting out of a slump in today's reading vlog. Fingers crossed, we're just going to be mood reading, we're going to be trying to get back into reading some fun books, just whatever I fancy, and hopefully we'll find some absolute bangers in this reading vlog. Fingers crossed. I am hoping for a 5-star, potentially. And yeah, I am ready to get back into the swing of reading. I have not read a book had not read a book in over a month before yesterday when I binged a book in 24 hours. I hadn't picked up a book, I just haven't had the time, or not necessarily the time, because I know that you can always make time for things. However, when you're reading so much for academic purposes, it's hard to find the motivation to then pick up a book for enjoyment purposes, and I genuinely have not had the motivation to do that. So I have been doing a lot of scrolling on an evening, I've been doing a lot of watching telly, a lot of watching shows instead of picking up my book, and it's not felt good, it's not felt like me. And I want to get back into reading because it is my favourite thing to do, it is my hobby, it is my passion, and I have not felt like myself during this dry spell, during this slump. So I really want to get back into it, and I'm going to use this vlog to do that. I don't have a TBR set for this reading vlog because I do just want to give myself the freedom to pick whatever book and when. So at the moment I'm not too sure, but we will see. I think I have one in mind that I want to start, but I will catch you guys up with that later when I actually get round to sitting down for the day and reading. So without further ado, let's get into this reading vlog and get out of a slump. Because have I got an update for you? I managed to get to 50% of the way through Strong and Wild by Sloane St. James yesterday, and I pretty much binged this book last night. So I ended up finishing everything I had to do for the day, and then for the rest of the evening I just sat down and read this book, and I am very much in the story. I feel like Sloane St. James's books, specifically this series, has such a way of capturing your attention straight away and really making you want to read more about the characters because of how much chemistry they have. And in particular this book, the characters, they have so much chemistry, like so much chemistry. Their romance is literally sizzling off of my Kindle. So we managed to get to 50% of the way through, which is chapter 21, 176 pages. So let's just do a deep dive of the story, because I've not yet spoken to you about this book. Last week I read the first book in the series before we came, and then I just thought, why not go into book 2 immediately, because this book follows the best friend of the main character in book 1. And I really liked her in book 1, so I feel like I needed to just go in and read her story straight away. We have Mickey, who is a very sort of fiery main character. She knows what she wants and she's gonna get it. And I love an FMC like that. She is really fun, really she's just fun to read about. And then we have our main male character, who is the new guy on the hockey team that the guy from book 1 was in, so the Lakes hockey team. He's the new guy, he's the rookie, and he basically doesn't want any dating, doesn't want relationships. He is like, hockey is my wife and I've worked too hard for this, I'm not going to mess it up for anything. So that's very much his mentality. And then her mentality is, I'm new to the city, I've moved to the city that my best friend just moved to, I'm trying to save up loads of money so I can start my dream business. And she basically starts an account, kind of like OnlyFans, but it's called Followers, and she starts an account on there, and then he ends up subscribing to this account, and that's kind of where the story takes off. They end up being literal neighbours, so they kind of live opposite each other in this apartment block, and he ends up sort of finding out, but she doesn't know, and it's like this whole thing. They kind of had like a parasocial relationship going on through Followers, and they was like she would always look out for his name, and he would always like just specifically watch her. And yeah, that's basically where the story started off. We see glimpses of the couple from book 1 in this book as well, which I do love because I really loved their story as well. And yeah, so far very much focusing on the build up of their relationship, and I'm really loving it. It is definitely a spicy series, so if you're not into that, then that's probably not going to be for you. It's kind of like, for me, a mix of fluffy and spicy, because you do definitely get the scenes where it's like very sweet and very fluffy and heartfelt and cute, but then you also on the other hand get like the spice scenes. So it's kind of like a mix up of the two, and I really want to finish this whole series because I feel like it's just such a fun, bingeable series that can get you out of a reading slump, basically. Obviously, I'm only 50% of the way through. I would love to be able to finish this book today. Do I think I can do that? I'm not too sure, because I am heading back to uni now, and then I'm going to sit in the library, get some work done all day, and then in the evening me and my friends are going to the Christmas markets. So will I be able to finish the rest of this story? I genuinely don't know. I definitely want to give it a good go though. Maybe we'll be able to finish it and then start a new book. Who knows? But that is my update. We are 50% of the way through, and yeah, I'm really in a hockey romance mood at the moment. I don't know what it is. I always forget how much I enjoy a hockey romance. I just feel like they're perfect for this time of year, and also they're always just so, oh, you know, and it's just like like I'm like reading it like and I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I also fake tan last night. And in my sleep, I never put fake tan on my face, but in my sleep I've like lent on my forehead, and I have like a fake tan mark like just there. Don't know if you can see that. Not ideal. But that is the update for now. I'll speak to you in a little bit. This is the outfit of the day. I've tried to match the hat with the coat. We're going for very Christmassy vibes, very red, very burgundy vibes. This is from Amazon. This is from Vinted, but it is old Topshop. And then underneath, this is from H&M. These jeans are old Topshop. And I'm probably gonna wear my New Balance trainers. So that's the outfit of the day. It's a lot later now. It is currently, let's have a look at what time it is actually. Currently 9 o'clock, and I'm settling down. I'm settling in to do some reading. So far today I have read 10% of this book, so I am currently up to 60% of the way through, which means that we are on chapter 24, page 208, and I'm gonna basically lock in now and maybe finish the rest of the book. It depends. I feel like I could definitely do that, and I definitely am getting hooked every time I pick up the book. There's not been a point where I've been reading and thinking, oh, I really don't want to pick up that book, or oh, I can't be bothered to be reading this right now, which has been happening like the past couple of months as I've been in a reading slump. So it does feel good to finally have a book that is capturing my attention, and I definitely want to keep reading it. We are definitely getting to see more of the characters' romance at this point, and we are also seeing glimpses of the character that I think is going to be in book 3. He seems very mysterious, so I'm very intrigued to read book 3. But currently Mickey or Freya, she has like 2 names. and Riz or Reese. I never know how you pronounce like the R-H-Y-S name. I, in my head, pronounce it as Riz, but then I think it's Reese, so I honestly don't know. But yeah, so basically the characters are currently, it's getting a little bit hot and heavy. They are definitely spicing things up, and I'm intrigued to read more. Another thing that this book deals with, sorry, I'm like just trying to get comfy and I feel like I'm really struggling to do that. Another thing this book deals with is addiction. So Reese, whatever, his sister is a young addict, so I think she's like 19, and she's struggling from very severe addiction issues. She's kind of always calling on him to give her money, to give her rent, give her a place to stay for the night, and he is also dealing with that as her older brother. He places a lot of the blame on himself and feels very responsible because he has such a good job as this hockey player, and his sister is clearly struggling a lot. So he feels very responsible and he doesn't really know how to help her. So we are following that plot line as well, and our main character, Freya, Mickey, she has dealt with addiction in the past because her ex-boyfriend was also an addict, so she's also kind of helping him deal with this and process this. And I feel like that is a very well done plot because it's giving so much depth to the characters and it's making you really see their emotional sides, because both characters individually are very much like quite closed off, not very easy to read characters, so seeing them have emotional sides to them is really, really nice. And yeah, I'm basically I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna turn off the light because who even reads with the big light on? The only reason this big light is on is because I'm filming a clip, but that is getting turned off immediately, and I am gonna lock in and I'll chat to you in the morning. Night! It's update time! It is currently Thursday and I last chatted on Tuesday evening, I believe. I didn't chat at all yesterday, but I did manage to finish in the morning Strong and Wild by Sloane St. James. That's the second book in the Lakes hockey series. So I finished that and I did rate it a 4.25 stars. I look really bad right now as well, guys. Let's just ignore that. But I did finish this book, and yeah, I've rated it 4.25 stars because I rated the first book 4.25 stars, and I personally feel like they're very on par for me. Like, I feel like they're very similar in how much I enjoyed them. I didn't really enjoy a couple more than the other couple, you know what I mean? So I feel like they're both pretty much the same. I do anticipate that the book 3 will be a 4.5 to maybe even a 5-star though, because I'm very intrigued about the next character's story, and we got a really good glimpse at the end and I was like, I really want to read it right now. So I enjoyed this story. I feel like it dealt really well with themes of addiction. It dealt really well with themes of going after your dreams when you've not got the capacity to fulfill them at this time. It dealt with feelings of sibling guilt, and overall I just felt like it was a really well done book. I loved the characters. The only thing that I found quite annoying was the third act conflict, because there was some things said which I thought were very bang out of order and really made me not enjoy the main male character as much anymore. I get that it was in anger, like the things he said were in anger, but I felt like they were really dehumanizing and also very just icky to say to a woman, so I really didn't enjoy that. And yeah, he did redeem himself, but I feel like those things could have just not been said. They didn't really have any business being said. Don't want to spoil anything. And I do think as well, this book maybe, I don't know, it kind of bordered on the brink of cringe just because of the things that the main male character says sometimes. It just kind of made me think like, ew, you was doing so well, sweetie. You was doing so well and you just ruined it, because why did you just say that? There was like a mixture of cute, fluffy, and then also very, very, very spicy in between. And I personally think that sometimes the fluffy and the cuteness was needed a little bit more in situations than the more spicy talk. And sometimes I feel like the character, the main girl, needed to be like comforted in a way that didn't involve anything physical. And yeah, that was just my opinion, but overall I did really enjoy this book. I feel like it's very bingeable, very fun, very fast paced, and I highly recommend it for anyone who loves a quick and bingeable book. This series is definitely becoming a favourite of mine and I can't wait to continue it. However, I felt like I needed to not go into book 3 because that's not that exciting. I feel like if I just read a full book series, that's not that exciting. And in my uni room where I am right now, I have a few books with me, and I did end up starting Homefront a couple of weeks ago, and I read like 50 pages and then just didn't pick it up again. So I thought, perfect opportunity to dive back into this one because I love Kristen Hanna and see what I think about it. The only reason I soft DNF'd it before was because I just kind of got distracted. I wasn't motivated to read at that time, but I definitely am now. So last night I ended up reading 50 pages just before bed, and now we're on page 104, chapter 9, and I am so far enjoying the story. I'm not 100% on it. I feel like the characters right now are kind of annoying to me. They're very flawed, and yeah, there's a lot of frustrating scenes at the moment. I'm finding it quite hard to connect with them and also to get into the story. So I think I'm gonna have to give this one a moment just to get into it a bit more. I'm thinking surely by like the next 100 pages I should have connected with the story, and if not, we might have a problem. So I'll keep you posted with this one. I'm not going to say too much right now because, like I said, I want to gather the story a little bit more before I go in and say what this is about, because I'm honestly not even too sure yet. And that's my update. Also, YouTube Wrapped came out a little, I think like a few days ago, I don't know. And mine is so funny because my sister always watches, okay, I screenshot it. My sister always watches YouTube on my account because my account is hooked up to like our family TV at home, and it's very telling that she watches on my account because my #1 top channel is Slushy Noobs. Sorry? That is the most my sister thing ever. She absolutely binges their videos 24/7. So love that that is the top of my YouTube Wrapped. But my second is Ellen Catherine, and then my third is Destiny Sidwell, my fourth is Emmy Rossum, and my fifth is Charlie Follows, which is a yoga channel because I love her yoga videos. I always do her yoga practices. So that's my YouTube Wrapped. I'd be interested to see your YouTube Wrapped. I feel like it's so interesting this time of year. So let me know in the comments. I fear that we have a problem. Houston, we got a problem. I just watched that back and realised my curtain pole is in tatters behind me in that clip. It is literally, it's hanging off. It's hanging on by a thread, like me. I just forgot to say anything about that. That happened earlier and I've just not dealt with it yet. I've not dealt with that yet. That is just, we're just trying to forget about that right now. Yeah. I should just probably mention the background is a little bit chaotic, and yeah, that happened earlier. I was opening my curtains and it just kind of fell. So that's a problem for later me. I don't know how to feel about this book. I really don't know how to feel about it. I just can't seem to connect with the story, which is so strange because usually with a Kristen Hanna book, I genuinely am in it straight away. I'm in the story, I'm connected to the characters. I feel like I understand them so much and that they're so fleshed out to me. But with this one, I'm just not getting that. We are now halfway through, I think. We're on like page 201, chapter 15. So we are like a good chunk of the way through. And I thought that by now I would feel more connected to the characters because I did give it another 100 pages to see how I would feel, and now we've read the 100 pages and I'm still a bit like, I don't know. I just think with this story, the characters don't feel fleshed out to me in a weird way, and it doesn't really feel like a typical Kristen Hanna book. It doesn't feel like her usual writing. Essentially in this book we're following dual POV. So we have one POV, which is Jolene. She is our main female character. She is a mum, she's married, and she is a pilot in the army to fly over to Iraq and fight over there. I think it's set in 2005, this book as well. So she's flown over there and she's never really had this experience before. She's 40 years old now, and now she's faced with this. She has to leave her children. She has to leave her daughters. One of them is a teenager, one of them is a young girl, and she's very sad about it. And we're seeing glimpses of her and how she's coping with this crazy thing that's happening to her. But then we're also seeing her husband's point of view. So we have Michael, who is a lawyer. He hates his job and now he has to be a full-time dad to these two girls who he hasn't really put much time into previously, because he's always at work, working late, leaving early in the morning, and he's never really been that present of a father. The marriage between the two is also in tatters. They very much have fallen out of love and don't really know how to connect. They're in very different spaces mentally within the marriage, and we're seeing that. So we're seeing a lot of different themes throughout the book. I just really don't gel with the husband, and I think when it's his POV it really just kind of frustrates me a little bit, because I feel like the things that he said and done are just not really, they're not that good. So I'm a bit like, ooh, no, I don't know. Also, the POVs aren't set out in like one chapter is his POV, one chapter is her POV. It kind of like mingles throughout each chapter, and sometimes I get a bit confused and lost because we all of a sudden flip to the next POV. And it kind of feels a bit abrupt, but I am going to keep going with it because I feel like since Kristen Hanna is my favourite author, I owe it to her to keep reading and to find out if this is going to be a good rating for me, if this is going to be a good book for me. I feel like I can't just leave it here, and I do think that this story overall is very, very educational and impactful, and I would like to learn more about Jolene's story, so I am going to keep reading, but at the moment I'm very much struggling to get through it. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm just in a romance mood and this might be throwing me off, or maybe it's because I started this one months ago and then left it and then didn't go back to it until now. I don't know. Will this be the day that I don't rate a Kristen Hanna book higher than a 4.5? It can't be. I am going to the gym. I'm currently heading to the gym. I'm so tired, but I thought I would update you because I finished Homefront last night, and I am going to rate this book I really can't decide. This is like the hardest decision ever. Either a 3.75 stars or a 4 stars. I'm not 100% sure yet. I am going to pop it on the screen, of course, but yeah, that is kind of where I'm sitting at the moment. I don't really know. I think that this book is a great book, don't get me wrong, and I am not sitting here trying to bash this book because by no means is that a bad rating. I just typically tend to rate Kristen Hanna books 4.5 to 5 stars, so this is a bit of a change for me, as you all know, but I just didn't like this book. The writing style, should I say, not the story. The story was beautiful, it was very impactful. Just the writing style for me, I didn't enjoy as much as her other books, which is fine. It's fine. And I definitely would say if you are new to Kristen Hanna and you're thinking of picking up a Kristen Hanna book, then I probably wouldn't start with this one. I would probably start with The Nightingale or The Great Alone. I don't think I would go for this one first. I think you might have a bit of a bad experience if you start her works with this book. I love that this story portrays not just the life of a soldier, but also the life of a soldier's family, specifically from a male point of view. I think that was really well done, and I think it was very interesting to see how a dad who has worked for the whole duration of his kids' lives now has to become this stay-at-home full-time dad, and he's really trying to cope with that. I think that that was really well done and very interesting to see. I also think that sort of how it started with the marriage broken up and how we're seeing them deal with then being separated like miles apart by this horrible event was very crazy, and I think it was crazy to see how the children were dealing with their mum being deployed. And yeah, there were so many things going on, so many elements to the story which were very impactful, and I definitely think it's a powerful book. It's just not my personal Kristen Hanna favourite book, I think. I think that this book very much portrays like modern day family life. It portrays a woman going out and being a hero, and I loved those aspects to it. I think that they was very interesting to read about. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on this book. I don't really know what else to say. I think the ending was powerful, it was sad, it was beautiful, it was impactful, like it was raw. I don't know what to say, guys. It was good. That's my thoughts on this book. I really don't know. I feel like it's too fresh for me right now to be sat here giving like a full-on review. The thing for me was I didn't gel with the dad. I just didn't gel with Michael, and that's okay. And then since then, I have began a new book on my Kindle. This is a book that I've had downloaded on my Kindle for genuinely like 6 months now. It's been a hot minute. Alright. And I finished the last book in the series before this one, I want to say over a year ago. It's been a while. I think I finished that book before I even had this channel. And I don't know why it's taken me so long to pick this book up, but I've picked up Change of Heart by Bailey Hannah. This is the 3rd book in the Wells Ranch series, which I love. Seeing Red, the 2nd book, is one of my all-time favourite books. That is just such an amazing romance book. That one is unplanned pregnancy, sort of forced proximity. It was just so good. It was so good. But this one so far is a second chance romance, and it is following the brother of the guy from book 1. So we kind of see glimpses of him throughout the rest of the series. He kind of comes across as this like almost playboy type guy. You know, he's got loads of gals around him. He's a professional bull rider. And yeah, we have this preconceived perception of him. However, now his childhood sweetheart has come back to town. She is a doctor, and she's come back to town because her mum has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So she needs to come back and help her dad take care of her mum, and she's kind of dealing with that. She left town. We don't really know why at the start. Like, we don't really know what went on with that, but she left town a while ago and moved to the city and kind of created this life in the city and didn't really return home. She was a huge part of the main guy's life, Denver's life, growing up. Like, they were like thick as thieves. They were best friends. They was very much like wild and free on the ranch, having this like really wholesome friendship, and then they kind of built that friendship into a bit of a romance, and then something went wrong and they both split apart. It's essentially the story. I think Bailey Hannah just has such a way of writing a good romance book. Every time I'm like, this is it's just so good. And it literally says on the cover, he broke her heart once, can she risk him doing it again? I don't know. It's also a past present POV, so we have present day POV, and then we also have past POV where they are like from 12 years old, I think, to growing up throughout teenage years. So we're really seeing them evolve as well, and their whole story. And so far I'm really, really enjoying it. I am currently, how far am I in? I'm currently 34% of the way through page 106, so that's what I'm doing. I am going to try finish this book today. I'm currently going to go to the gym, get that done. I am going to take this with me and read on the treadmill. And that is my plans for the day. I am officially finished for uni. I just need to send off my last assignment and then we're done with that. So I feel like I've just chatted for way too long. But I'm going to go now. I'm going to go. I don't want to do this workout. Can someone save me? I don't want to do this workout. Oh, today was not a day I wanted to go to the gym. Tree right now. We finally have our family Christmas tree up. I am so happy. I'm so happy about that. And I have officially finished Change of Heart by Bailey Hannah. And this was such a cute cowboy romance story. I loved it. I wouldn't say it's my favourite in the series. I definitely think this one for me sits at like a 3.75 stars, but I still think that's a really good rating, and I still think it's a very bingeable and fun time, and I definitely recommend this series as a whole to anyone. This one deals with forced proximity because we're having Blair return to her hometown where she doesn't really want to be. She didn't choose to be there. She was quite happy with her life in the city, and then obviously with her mum being taken ill, she has to return there, and it's a very tight-knit town, like a very small town. Everyone knows everyone, and of course as soon as she's back, Denver, her ex-boyfriend, recognises her, realises that she's back. Like they're thrown together so many times, it's impossible not to be around each other. And we keep getting glimpses of the fact that Blair had her heart broken by Denver years ago, like years ago, and we don't know what happened or why, and he is desperate to basically like let Blair give him a second chance. He will do anything to prove that he's not this like F-boy guy that everyone in the town thinks that he is, and he does genuinely want to settle down and have what his friends now have, and we're exploring that. It has quite a few emotional themes, obviously with her mum being ill, and I also really love a story that tells past and present, because I just feel like the past storylines of like a teenage love story I should say, are always so sweet and cute and comforting and wholesome, and I always absolutely eat them up. I mean, I loved reading about the origin of their love story. I feel like it gave their romance as a whole so much more depth, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I think that it's a very fun cowboy romance. I definitely needed to read one. I haven't read one in so long. Is that a lie? No, I don't think I've actually read one in quite a while. I might be lying here, but I genuinely think this is like my first one in months. So I had a good time. I think that the 4th book in the series is actually out right now, which is also super fun because I would love to read the 4th book quite soon. I really like this series and I definitely recommend it. This one does not hold a torch to Seeing Red. That one is a 5-star, 6-star book in my eyes. I absolutely love that book, but this one was still fun. And I feel like that wraps up this reading vlog. I have managed to read 3 great books in this vlog. I haven't found a 5-star yet, but you know what, that's fine. We're holding out hope for a 5-star in December, or 2, or 3. I'm holding out hope for at least 1 5-star in December. I feel like I really need a 5-star right now. You know when you just like haven't had one in too long and it's just getting to the point where you need one in your life? Like, I need a 5-star. If you have any recommendations that you think I will find a 5-star, please let me know, because I would also love to do a video where I read books that you guys have said you think I will rate 5 stars. I feel like that could be really fun. So to sum everything up, in this video we have read Strong and Wild by Sloane St. James. That was a 4.25 stars. We've read Homefront by Kristen Hannah, which was, I don't know, you'll have seen on the screen. And we have read Change of Heart, forgot the name then, just went poof. Change of Heart by Bailey Hannah, which was a 3.75 stars. And I'm very happy with this week of reads. I feel like I'm definitely out of my slump now. I have that love for reading back, and I can't wait to share some more reading vlogs with you guys. So stay tuned for lots of fun content coming your way in December. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I really hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.